Alright, so it is June 30th, and clearly I look like I'm going through some shit. And I don't think I've ever cried in any of my YouTube videos before, but for some reason, while I was crying and feeling the way I'm feeling, I wanted to pick up my camera and I wanted to talk about this because I think to know me on a personal level, you have to know this side of me in addition to the parts that I'm like always happy, traveling, going to NFL games, being with my boyfriend. Like, you have to know this side of me too to know who I am. I'm trying not to cry as much as I can. So I wanted to pick up the camera so you guys can also see this part of me. And I'm sure you guys are like, okay, like what is going on? Like, what is this video even about? Well, I'm sure it's in the title or something, but I mean, I don't even know if I'm gonna post this. Like, I'm literally just sitting here in my bedroom alone, being emotional and talking to an inanimate object. But for some reason, it's making me feel a little bit better. So if you've never seen any of my videos before, there's one video in particular I'm referencing, and that is my nose job rhinoplasty story. So yeah, it's a long video and I explain all of the details, so if you want to go and watch it, you can, but I'm also going to reference it here. And long story short, I have had 4 nose jobs and I'm 25 years old. Not a lot of people can say that, and when I say it, like, I'm not proud of that. Like, I'm embarrassed by that. It's not something I ever would have chose for my life. Growing up, I never even, like, thought, oh my god, I hate my nose so much, I need to change it. I didn't grow up hating my nose, and then I got plastic surgery. Literally, an accident happened, and I broke my nose, and that kind of started the domino effect of going to a surgeon, him messing up, going back to the surgeon, messing up, and just a domino effect. And every time it was supposed to be better, and I believed them, and it wasn't something I was able to avoid because I either couldn't breathe or my nose was falling off to one side of my face. And I know looks are like opinions, but these things in my head, like, it wasn't in my head. These things, like, I couldn't just leave it. Like, I couldn't just leave myself without having a nose that was able to breathe. Like, bottom line, I didn't want all of these surgeries. Like, I wasn't striving for perfection. I just, like, wanted to feel comfortable in my own skin. Like, just like any other person who wants plastic surgery, like, you just want to feel more comfortable in your own skin. That's it. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But, so my last surgery was in June 2019. So it was about a year ago, and I posted a video about my recovery and, like, basically from, like, getting my surgery, going throughout, like, the recovery process, everything about it. I even told my story on why I was even having it. And I posted that video a few months after I had my surgery because I was going through some stuff and I just wanted to wait to post it. But recently I've been getting a lot of views on it, and I've had people commenting like, oh, like, you were so pretty, like, why'd you need another one? And like, oh, I stalked you on Instagram and it, like, your nose looks so good, and all of that stuff. And I don't know why, like, it's been getting more views recently, but it just has. And I haven't addressed everything after that video, and that's what this video is. So in addition to people, like, saying, oh my god, why'd you get it? Or, like, your nose looks so good, like, I'm so happy for you. In addition to all of those things, my dog is freaking out in the background. I've also had people complain in the comments on my video, like, you made me wait 8 minutes and you didn't even show, like, the end result. Like, you didn't even show them taking off your cast and, like, what your nose looks like now. And I did that purposefully. So I'm going to take you guys back to, sorry if you can hear my dog. I'm going to take you guys back to June 2019. So the day I got my nose cast off was probably one of the most memorable days in my, like, plastic surgery journey. I was looking forward to this 4th surgery, as in, like, I could not wait. Like, this was supposed to be, like, the end of the road. Like, this phase, this problem of my life is finally going to be over. Like, I can finally be happy. I can finally be comfortable, whatever. And that's not what happened. So I got my nose cast off, and I mean, I've been through this process before. I know that when you take off your nose cast, it is swollen and it looks gross, and it's just not what it is supposed to look like permanently. Like, the swelling has to go down. But the problem I had is that when my nose cast came off, I really didn't see any difference. And when I say any difference, I mean, the main reason I had this 4th surgery is because there was a huge bump on the side of my nose, and it made my nose look like a C shape. And I'm not going to get into the logistics of it because those really don't matter, but at the end, like, when he took off my cast, like, the bump was still there, and if anything, it was so much more prominent. And he was like, no, that's just, like, scar tissue, like, that's gonna go down, the swelling's gonna go down, like, I'm trying not to get emotional in this part, but my surgeon basically looked at me after just getting my cast off and was like, you're striving for perfection, you're never gonna get that. To a 24-year-old, like, impressionable, like, young woman, to tell her that, like, what she's seeing in the mirror is all made up in her head was, like, a punch in my face. Like, am I, like, making this out to be something it's not? Like, am I really the one at fault? So, I mean, the reason I didn't put that in the vlog is because I was so, like, it was, like, this nightmare is not over, basically. That's what that day was for me. It was like I was looking forward to having this part of my life be over, and it was not over. So, I went home, and my parents were super upset because I was upset, and it was just like it was a horrible, horrible day because that day I had my cast off, I was like, gonna have to get another surgery. And who wants to ever tell who wants to tell anybody, let alone, like, people on YouTube, that, yep, I'm gonna get my 5th nose job. I'm sure so many of you are looking at my Instagram or my Facebook or YouTube videos, or, like, you guys are just looking at me, you're sitting here right now and you're like, you're a pretty girl, like, you don't need to change anything. And I don't know how to accurately explain why this is so hard for me, other than the fact that this is not my nose, this is not my face, and, like, I feel like I'm walking around with somebody else's mistakes on my face, basically. And it's so hard being a girl in today's age with social media and all of these, like, outside pressures of what you should look like, and it's so hard going through all that. But, like, throw on top of that having 4 surgeries and every time your surgeon has fucked up. If I could do anything in my life, I would want to take back every single surgery and just have my regular nose. Like, it wasn't a choice in the beginning because I had broken my nose and, like, it needed to be fixed, but I, like, wish I could take it all back. And so the reason I'm sitting here so emotional is because today I had a consultation with a surgeon for a 5th surgery. And honestly, up until this point, like, you guys are probably making judgments about me. You guys are probably already writing in your 2 cents in the comments. But I have not decided if I'm going to go ahead with the 5th surgery, and I know I have to meet with like multiple surgeons before I make my decision, but I don't want to be going through this. And I think when people look at my social media and look at my Facebook or whatever, they see this like pretty girl going about her life, loving life, traveling, going to her boyfriend's football games, like in a great relationship, like lives in California. Like, you look at all of these things and you're like, oh my god, her life must be so great. But little do people know, like, I don't take pictures of my face because I hate my nose so much. Like, I hate looking at somebody's mistake on my face. And I purposely don't like film a certain way because of my nose, and I don't feel confident in the way I look specifically because of my nose, and I don't know how to explain this. Like, I feel like I have to like keep defending myself because nobody's gonna get it. But that's the thing, like, nobody is ever going to get it. Nobody will ever understand how a 25-year-old feels after having her 4th nose job and her nose is still fucked up. And it's honestly so exhausting. Because in every picture I see it, and when I think about getting engaged, I worry about the camera placement and how I will look. And, I mean, to some people, I just feel like I can't get my thoughts out and, like, explain exactly how I'm feeling, because, like, after that phrase just came out of my mouth, people are gonna be like, oh, you're obsessed over it. Not that big of a deal. You're only like, you're your own worst critic. And I will say, yeah, 100% I'm my own worst critic, but if I was born with this nose, I feel like I would be okay with that. But I think it's because I have gone through so much, being like, having surgery, expecting it to look a certain way, waking up and looking the complete opposite, and waking up with a problem. And it's so taxing on me, and to go through that at my age. Like, I had my first surgery when I was 17. Like, this has been such a big part of my life, and I just want this to be over. To look in the mirror and be so self-conscious about something and you can't even control it is the most helpless thing ever. And I hate that people are going to judge me for this video, and I hate that people are gonna judge my actions, and like, I can't be perfect. Like, it's so easy for someone to just it's so easy for someone to just say like you are striving for perfection, like, you just need to get over it. Like, you think I don't know that? Like, you think I want to have a 5th surgery? You think I wanted to have a 4th or a 3rd? You think I even wanted one? Right now, I'm so torn, because, I mean, I just had my consultation and they made it sound so easy, and like, this surgeon is like one of the best revision rhinoplastic surgeons in California, like, let alone America. And I feel so confident with what they're saying about how they're gonna fix it, but I'm so fucking scared out of my mind because I just want this part of my life to be over. And I'm so scared. I think I'm more scared to commit, because if I get my cast off and I realize it's not over, like, what that will do to me. I just wish I could, like, have my own, like, God-given nose back. I wish I could go back and take all of us back. I'm in this situation and I can't get out of it. Like, I either have to get another surgery and risk, like, hating it even more, or I just stay put and just am always unhappy with the way my nose looks for the rest of my life. And at the end of the day, like, people can judge all they want and people can make assumptions, and that doesn't bother me because nobody knows how I feel. And I would love for someone to give me this easy, like, oh, this is a great solution, here, go try this out. I don't have control over this. The only thing I can control is getting surgery or not getting surgery. I guess the main reason I made this video isn't because I just wanted to sit here and tell you my sob story and get people to feel pity for me, because I don't want people's pity. I think I just want people to see that, like, everyone is going through shit, and it's so much more than, like, you would think. Like, I don't think anybody, like, if somebody saw me in the street, they wouldn't be like, oh yeah, she had 4 nose jobs and is, like, struggling with her self-perception. Like, no. But I think, like, social media and, like, YouTube and Instagram, like, all of that, it just portrays this life, and it's not true. But I don't even know what to do or what, like, how to move forward. My dog. Frankie, what are you doing? You got your toy? Noisiest toy I've ever gotten from my life. Go get it. Can you take that in another room, please? Way to end an emotional video. I mean, how else are you supposed to end an emotional video? Hey, can you stop it for 5 seconds? At the end of the day, I don't want people to feel sorry for me, and I don't want people to, like, reach out apologizing and... Frankie, can you put it away for 5 seconds, please? No, not right now. I'm sorry. I'll give it to you. Here, look at this. Go get a sock. A sock? Go get it. At the end of the day, I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't want people to reach out apologizing. I wish I had a solution, and I wish I had a plan, but I don't. And I feel a little helpless in this situation because I don't know what to do, and I don't know what the right step is, and I wish I could look at my future, getting a nose job or not getting a nose job. I wish I could look at the future, and I know everybody wishes they could do that sometimes, but I hope I look back at this video in a few years and I'm so much happier. I know that this situation is going to make me stronger on the other side, but shit's hard. Having a puppy and filming a video is even harder. Okay. But if you guys have watched up until this point, I encourage you to be careful with what you say and be aware of how you say it, and just know that everybody is going through stuff, even if you can't see it. And if it's not visible, maybe it is visible. Give people a break. Don't be so harsh. Social media can be such a bad place. But, yeah. You good? I just wanted to share my story, and I hope it can help any of you people. I think that's another reason I make videos, like, I would want to make a video like this, is because I just want other people to feel like they're not alone in situations like this, because you can feel so alone and so helpless, and it can really eat at you. So, with that being said, thank you guys for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.